Hey guys, it's Miss Lassiter. I'm here to talk to you about dividing by powers of 10 and multiples of powers of 10. You can see on this first screen that they've really accentuated the zeros by having them in red. And my main focus for you in this unit is to think of division as the exact opposite of multiplication. When we multiply by 10, as mathematicians say, move everything to the left one space. When we divide by 10, it would be the opposite. You would move everything one space to the right. You can see here that they accentuate the 10, so in effect what's happening is the 0 from the 10 is canceling out with the 0 in the whole number, if it has a 0. But in effect, for instance, the 7 is moving from the tens place to the ones place. So 70 divided by 10 is 7. 160 divided by 10 is 16, and 1,800 divided by 10 is 180. So in reality, what's happening is 1 0 is canceling out from the 10 and the dividend. When we looked at the multiplication by 10, our chart looked very similar to this, except there were lots of arrows going down and to the left because my numbers were moving one space to the left to become bigger. So when we divide by 10, everything is moving one space to the right. So we see the arrows going down and to the right. This next picture is the exact same as the previous one. Instead of using pictures, though, they are using the digits themselves. But again, you see lots of arrows going one space to the right. This next page is a couple practice problems. I'd like you to have a piece of paper and work out these problems. Just jot down the solutions. And so pause the video, jot down the solutions, and then when you restart the video, it'll move on to the next page where you will see the solutions. Hopefully your solutions correspond to the solutions here, and that you feel comfortable and can move on to the next stuff. Now we're going to look at dividing by multiples of 10. Now we all know that 60 divided by 30 is equal to 2. That's a pretty easy problem. However, I want you to think of dividing by multiples of 10, the exact opposite of multiplying by multiples of 10. When we multiplied by multiples of 10, we split the, for instance, 30 into times 3 times 10. So this time we are going to split it into divided by 10 divided by 3. If we first divide by the power of 10, we are going to make our dividend much smaller, and then it'll be a simpler second division problem. For example, in this 420 divided by 70, if I first divide by 10, I will make that 420 into 42 divided by 7, which is just a simple arithmetic fact to be 6. On this next page, there are some problems up at the top that you could just work your way through to see if you would understand how to fill in the blank. And then, again, on your paper, I would like you to try problems 1 through 4. So pause the video and then move on to check your answers on the following page. Here are the solutions. Hopefully you agree with them. Now, as we did in the multiplication unit, we went then to look at multiplying by 100 or 1,000. So now we're going to look at dividing by 100 or 1,000. Again, it's the same concept for division as it was for multiplication. However, this time, when you divide by 100, you're dividing by 10 2 times. So instead of moving things one space to the right, we are going to move things 2 spaces to the right. And 1,000, similarly, will have 3 spaces to the right. If you're working with whole numbers, which we will be for the meantime, you will see that every time you do this, the zeros, it's the movement, it's canceling of the zeros. So 900 divided by 100 equals 9. 1,400 divided by 100 equals 14. And then for thousands, if they have the 3 zeros, will cancel each other out. In multiplication, we also looked at a chart that had things moving like this, that was pictures. It had things moving to the left 2 spaces, or for 1,000, it had moving left 3 spaces. For division, similarly, you can see these arrows are going 2 spaces to the right. That reflects division by 100. Whereas these are going 3 spaces to the right, which represents division by 1,000. Again, the same type of picture, except this time they're using the digits themselves instead of the pictures. The longer arrow represents a bigger divisor. You're dividing by 1,000 when the arrow is moving 3 spaces. When it's moving 2 spaces, we're dividing by 100. On the next page, again, I'd like you to try these 6 somewhat simple problems and see if you understand the concept of division by 100 and divide by 1,000. So again, go ahead, pause the video before you move on. And check your solutions with the solutions provided. Hopefully, I didn't make any mistakes. Then again, we're going to go, just as we did for multiplication, now we're going to divide by multiples of 100 or 1,000. So if we're dividing by 100, we're going to split it into first dividing by 100 and then dividing by 3. The division by the power of 10, 100 or 1,000, is going to make my number much smaller and then a simpler division problem. These really correspond exactly to the division by multiples of 10. These are divided by multiples of 100 or multiples of 1,000. The key is to get rid of your big number to start with. Divide by 100 or divide by 1,000 to start out. Again, I'd like you to pause the video and test these 6 problems, and then you can move on in the video and you can check your solutions on the following page. That's it for this unit. Hopefully you grab the concept and that we can move on from here. Thanks.